Everybody, welcome back to eTourism Summit, the virtual edition, 21 days focused on winning in 2021. One of the great kind of historical events at eTourism Summit when we've met live and in person has been the Destination Analysts presentations. A lot of fun, quirky takes on what is happening, and your support of Destination Analysts of the eTourism Summit over the years is so very, very much appreciated. This is going to be an extraordinarily fun, engaging session, although it won't be quite on par as the drunken UX testing or the battle of the bots from last year with Alexa and Google. But Miha, I want to thank you and the entire team at Destination Analysts for your ongoing support and for stepping up to the plate for a fun, exciting conversation today. So I'm going to hand it off to you, and can't wait to see how this shakes out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Will, and big thank you to the Connect team for inviting us on to do another fun session at eTourism. Just wanted to give a little background into Destination Analysts for those in the audience that we haven't had the pleasure of working with yet. Destination Analysts is a full-service market research firm that provides deep insights into your audience's brand and marketing performance. In over nearly 2 decades, more than 200 travel and hospitality organizations have partnered with us to research and answer their most urgent and important questions. We help travel marketers to be the best stewards of their organizations and their budgets. Now, typically, we at Destination Analysts like to provide insights in support of sales, marketing, and tourism strategies. But today, I'll be hosting a fun and heated discussion between a fantastic and very opinionated panel of industry colleagues. And I'll be presenting a number of hot takes, that is deliberately sensational opinions related to the travel industry. And then I'll have this wonderful group weigh in. I do want to remind the audience that the opinions shared by the panel in today's session are their own and in no way representative of the organizations that they represent. And if you in the audience have any hot takes of your own that you'd like to share, we want to see them, so put them into the chat box throughout the session. So without further ado, let's meet our hot takes crew. Andrew, if you'd like to kick us off.
I'm Andrew Wilson. I'm currently broadcasting out of an office in Atlanta, Georgia, one of those much visited urban destinations at this particular point in time, and I'm responsible for the marketing of this wonderful city.
I'm Jennifer Griswold, live from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm the Research and Analytics Director for the Wyoming Office of Tourism, and I like dinosaurs.
And Laura from Miles is also joining us, but appears to be having some technical issues, so hopefully she'll pop back into the room sometime soon. So I'll hand it over to Tim to round out the introductions.
Hi, I'm Bachelor number 4, Tim from Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. And I like long walks on the beach and making fun of Atlanta, Georgia. Is that all we got? Sorry about that. I just thought we'd get it.
That was perfect. Thank you all so much. So let's just dive into our hot takes and see what comes out of this. So first topic that I'd like you guys to weigh in on, compared to what's coming, 2020 was a cakewalk. Tim, how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling like Andrew was going to jump in. So Andrew, go.
Well, we were just told we had to go in alphabetical order, and then Mia just turns it upside down. What the hell, Mia?
That's just for the introductions.
Andrew?
Compared to 2020, compared to what's coming, 2020 was a cakewalk. I got to say this. That's BS, because we still have 2 more months of 2020 left, and I'm starting to see, what's going to happen next. But God, I hope it gets better. But I'm sure things are better in Wyoming or in Atlanta, right, guys? Everything's fine there. No problems. Really?
Well, there's several well-respected pharma brands that are in stage 3 for trials for the vaccine, so it could be the end soon.
That's a great tourism slogan. Visit Wyoming. It could be the end.
No better place to meet the end.
Wyoming, where all animals go to become extinct.
I know, I like that. It's like dinosaurs, so why not? Let's see what happens.
So I think if you consider in 2068, we are expecting to be visited by a very large piece of space rock, which is forecast to fairly fundamentally and structurally change the way of life on the planet. So from that perspective, I think 2020 is certainly a cakewalk.
You said 2068?
Yeah, 2068, yeah.
So 48 years from now?
Yeah.
Are you guys even still going to be here?
I know, it's like in the long run, we're all, hey, by the way, millennial, wait your turn. Are we going to still be here? I would point my finger closer at you, but my back hurts to I can't go 25 years.
I certainly won't be here in 48 years, but I'm going to party hard and make sure I burn up all the resources on this planet so that you have a double suffering when the rock strikes.
Yeah, and I thought, Jennifer, it was all be over anyway, because the Mayan calendar, weren't we supposed to end in 2012 or something like that? And then it wasn't going to kill us?
Yes, yeah. But I did see a meme that said that they got the date wrong and it was really 2020 was when that was supposed to happen.
And you have to trust memes, so
yeah,
absolutely.
That ends the conversation.
Right.
So, how do you guys feel about this? America has rediscovered the best way to travel, and that is the road trip. And that's really good for our industry.
It's even better for the fossil fuel industry. I'm really happy about this because, I've got a lot of stocks riding, Exxon, BP. This is great news. I mean, and I hope there's a resurgence, especially amongst the millennials, to rediscover the big old V8 motors, and so they can burn along the road there, just consuming gasoline like there's no tomorrow.
Okay, that's good for Wyoming, right? Because you guys have oil and stuff like that. Here in California, all of our cars run on fair trade cannabis. So
that's so true.
Yeah, we basically drive them to our family compounds where we're married to 8 other people. But here's the deal. I think the road trip is a good thing because getting out and seeing stuff, and we had a huge pivot. Oh God, everyone has to drink. We went and we're going big on international, right? It was all China for years and years and years. And the road trip is a good thing. The problem, Andrew, is none of the millennials know how to drive, and Uber will not take them much further because they are just delivering Uber Eats stuff and Chick-fil-A to people. So really, it's probably going to be the rebound of Greyhound bus lines. I'm calling it right now. It's coming back.
Wow, that is another hot take. Jennifer, your thoughts?
Well, Andrew's right. It's good for the fossil fuel industry, and fossil fuel comes from
dinosaurs.
What's going on? Are we all still here? Okay. Hello? I don't know if I'm by myself or not. Andrew, did anyone else leave?
I don't know. I think it's our show now.
This is great. We have taken, do not adjust your screen. We have taken over eTourism Summit. Happening. Oh my God.
All right, good to have you back, Jennifer. We thought you quit the conversation for a moment there.
I thought everybody else left when I started talking.
So dead dinosaurs is what's driving the economy, and you've got one behind you.
Yes. So fossil fuels, but also it is good for everybody else too, because people are driving coast to coast from sea to shining sea, and they're stopping at all points from A to Z in between. So it helps our industry and it helps the gas companies, and we don't need airlines to move forward.
That is poetic and it's very optimistic and beautiful. But I will throw in one of the benefits of the COVID. While we've been killing off people at the rate of 200 or so thousand in this country, the road deaths have actually declined substantially because people haven't been out on the roads. So we might get a vaccine, but what we're going to do with this road trip business, especially as Tim said, because millennials don't know how to drive properly, we're going to just see mass mass deaths on all of our hikes.
Andrew, I want you to hang out on the porch with me and be grumpy with me. I like you. That's right. Because the light at the end of the tunnel is a train, so watch out. That's right.
Well, on that grim note, let's move over to our next topic. And that is the term experience is overused in destination marketing. Thoughts?
That's the latest buzzword.
Okay.
And it means nothing because it'll be so overused in marketing. And there's other words we can be using like adventure, event, trip, encounter.
How about authentic?
Authentic experience?
Nope, just authentic.
I think experience is the .travel web domain, right? It's like we all kind of use it for a few minutes and then we go back to .com or something like that. But yeah, it is overused, and I'm guilty because I think it's currently on our logo somewhere.
I really have to do a shout out here for Millennials, because thanks to them, I am now experiencing life. Before, I didn't have any experience at all. I just existed and just went from A to B and saw cities and went to the Eiffel Tower, looked at it, but didn't experience a single thing. Now I've just got a refound youth. It's fantastic.
But Andrew, did you experience it if you didn't put it on Instagram? You probably didn't.
And
Was it on TikTok?
TikTok.
Andrew, on behalf of all millennials, you're welcome. Let's move over to the next topic, and that is dinosaur attractions. Are they hot or are they not? Jennifer, I feel like you want to weigh in here.
Absolutely. First. Dinosaur attractions are the end thing right now. If you think about the whole Jurassic Park franchise, that movie series has generated over $5 billion in the box office internationally. I looked it up this morning. And
so wait, people come to Wyoming to see dinosaurs?
Yes, people will come to Wyoming to see dinosaurs.
So, hey, Jennifer, dinosaurs are extinct.
They are, but you can actually go into the city Thermopolis and go on a dinosaur dig and dig them up yourself.
Well, I think you can go to Georgia and go see the Ark or something like that. And there's dinosaurs next to like the flamingo. Where is that? Is that in Tennessee?
I think that's in Tennessee or Kentucky. I'm guessing though.
Wow.
I don't think it's in Georgia.
We've got some cheesy attractions, but not that cheesy.
I think I'm going to come back, Miha, and say dinosaur attractions are not hot, right? Dinosaurs are old. They're yesterday's news, literally like 180 million or possibly 10,000 years, depends on how you read it, old. And I don't think, no way. The best thing in Wyoming is Devil's Tower, not the dinosaurs.
Interesting take.
I don't know if you can hear me, Miha. It's Laura. I don't know if you can hear me, but I know my takes are so hot that the camera can't even handle it. But Jennifer, I'm with you on this situation. I think dinosaurs are hot. They're essential to the road trip, which I think is here for a while. And I think that rounds out an itinerary in a way that is a hands-on thing you cannot experience just anywhere. So I think dinosaurs are hot. I'm with you.
So
Thanks, Laura.
I'm with Tim. I think dinosaurs are so yesterday. And not only that, they're yesterday's fake news, because how many dinosaurs have you ever seen where the entire dinosaur on display was real? What they usually do is they find one vertebra and maybe one rib, and then they fill in the blanks.
Right.
So how do we know that this is really what they look like?
They're only that big in real life. That could be the entire dinosaur, right? We don't know.
It could just be a vertebra with little legs.
No, it's an educated hypothesis, the foundation of science.
Science.
Oh no, science.
Science is yesterday as well.
All right. Well, great arguments on both sides. I don't think we're going to reach a consensus right now. So let's look at our next topic. And that is Spartan Travel and naked hikes are in, luxury travel is out. And just for some context for the audience here, another travel trend that's really been buzzing as of late is Spartan Travel, which is
No, Tim, keep it on.
Modern way.
Carry on, another layer.
modern way of traveling in a more medieval way. And the trend is mostly comprised of a digital detox with minimalist living. And what could be better for unplugging from our digital life and reconnecting with nature than hiking around in the buff? So let's hear what our panel has to say.
For me, I have to jump in. Firstly, a correction here. The Spartans were not medieval.
Thank you.
Secondly, the Spartans enjoyed a good bit of luxury. They used to drink out of golden goblets all the time. And they had maidens feeding them with grapes, or young men feeding them with grapes, because they were very sort of by on that.
The Romans?
No, I agree with Andrew. I think luxury travel, Spartan travel, naked hikes is an extension of luxury travel. Luxury travelers are tired of wandering around spas naked. They want to get into a more rugged terrain. They've been polar bear plunging and all sorts of things. Now, why not have a naked hike? I think that that's the next step of luxury travel at this state.
Yeah, but Spartan travel and naked hikes, you're not spending any money because you can't go anywhere nude.
You probably
in Germany.
If there's money to be made, there'll be places for nude people to go.
I feel like this is everything old is new again, because the whole Lonely Planet thing was based upon just grabbing a book and wrapping a sarong around yourself and looking stupid as you traipsed around another country. So, I mean,
with the camera hanging over your neck.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you were lucky. In my day, we just had rocks, right? We couldn't afford cameras, so we had to educate on the rock and try to remember it. You know what, Jennifer? It's people like you that are ruining naked Spartan travel.
My mistake. I apologize.
Very judgy, Jennifer. Very judgy of our naked travel.
But you know what? Actually, Jennifer, I think you're right here, because Wyoming does get a little chilly, I've heard, in January and February. And what's more Spartan than going out into the plains of Wyoming with a spear, right? And just a little cloth around yourself to have to go out and prove yourself. So I think this is a big thing for Wyoming and those kind of Sparta races and things like that, like survive the plains. And then a dinosaur eats you like your claymation. Like, oh.
Well, okay, but if you do go naked hiking in Wyoming, I do recommend that you go visit the hot springs that are safe to get your body into and wash your bits off when you're finished with your hike.
Wash your bits.
Yeah,
wash your bits.
Great reminder, Jennifer, to the audience. Wash your bits. And Tim, just out of curiosity, you don't foresee naked wine tours in Sonoma anytime soon?
No, I'm not saying it'll become a trend because it's never left. Sonoma, I'm not wearing any pants. And we are entirely populated by nudists who have great Syrah. That's what we do. Actually, that is true. Actually, I think, no, all joking aside, nudism was a trend that like went away in the 70s and everyone was like flashing and stuff like that. You can watch TV and someone come running by. It's probably coming back. I do remember that funny trend where people were sunning their you-know-whats, and it was sort of like an internet prank that became like real and jumped the news cycle. So I think
they were sunning their bits?
The bit between the bits.
Oh.
Yeah, sort of like.
Thanks for the visual.
I'll go on the talk tech later, and but anyway, like, here's the deal. This is a trend that's ready to happen. You don't have to pack a lot. It's inexpensive. And I think, to Jennifer's point, the hot springs in Wyoming are a great place to go and, be naked.
Right. Well, since Andrew and Tim have been on a tear about millennials, I want to present this one next, which is millennials will save the cruise industry. So there's been some talk about hipster cruises launching to cater to millennials and Gen Z. So imagine ships packed with tattoo parlors, karaoke studios, vinyl record shops curated by Mark Ronson, craft beer and CBD cocktails. What more could my generation want besides participation trophies? So will millennials save the cruise industry?
Yeah, I feel like we're underrepresented here.
I do think millennials will save the cruise industry. There's no better way to take your small family on a trip around the world and still have Instagram-worthy moments and have childcare right on your hotel floating on the sea. There's no better way.
What family? Your emotional support chinchilla? Get the hell out of here.
There's feelings. The definition of family is not the discussion. It is actually whether or not millennials will save it.
Well, I think millennials are saving the world, right? So,
Yeah.
it's therefore a logical extraction here that they're going to save everything in the world, which would include the cruise industry. But what really concerns me is why do the millennials feel they need to appropriate everything us boomers developed and held dear?
No. We are being appropriated by the boomers to everything. It's earlier in the session, you guys said that it was our fault that the car industry was dying.
It's both your fault that the car industry is dying and the planet's dying. We just like to blame, again, we're the grumpy guys on the porch. And that's who we are.
They're yelling at us to get off the grass.
That's right. Which is actually marijuana because our backs hurt. Get off my I think millennials will save the cruise industry. Here's why. You got a bunch of floating hotels. They're weird petri dishes of disgustingness. But if they can figure that out, there are a lot of them that can help the cruise industry. I'm not going to go cruising. My parents go cruising. We're going cruising a lot. So it's you guys. It's up to you. And I think with global warming, Casper, Wyoming is going to be a great port anytime soon. So it's good. Whole right.
All right, let's move on to a more divisive topic, and that is economy air passengers should not lean their seat backs no matter what. Laura, how do you feel about this?
I guess I don't understand why you need to. Your average flight is only 2 hours. You're not leaning back when you're sitting at your desk or in a meeting or at school. You don't need to recline 3 inches. You're able to sit for 2.5 hours. If you need to lay back, there's accommodations for that. But if you buy a cheap seat, you're just flying a short distance. Let's just be still.
I have to disagree with Laura. I'm going to say that if you think about the example of getting a ride with someone or taking an Uber or Lyft, you're always invited to relax your seat, change the seat so that you're comfortable. So why not on airplanes? What do you think, Andrew?
Where does Laura live?
Where does
Denver?
2 hours away.
Denver.
Yeah, 2 hours from everything, right?
It's a geographical oddity. We're 2 hours from everybody.
Well, no, actually in Atlanta, we are technically and officially 2 hours from 80% of the rest of the population of the United States of America. And that's why we are single-handedly the best place to host your next meeting.
Excellent plug.
Yeah. But I will say this is that let's forget about leaning seats, right? What we really need in economy travel is stand-up. Not seats, but we need to have standing room only sections in economy because we can pack more people in. Then people are going to be comfortable because, I mean, God gave us legs, right, to stand on. I don't know what God gave us butts for something else other than sitting, I think. So no, I think
that's why they're padded so you can sit on them.
No, I think standing is the way to go. The standing room only, the flying subway is a genius idea. Because I really think we should just admit that travel is run by corporate overlords who don't care about us. We're just a bunch of meat puppets, cram us in the metal tube, make the money, and drop us where we're going.
I agree. And when I'm in first class, I want to feel that I'm actually a few rungs up the ladder than the guys at the back, right? And they've got seats, and I've got a seat. It's only a little bit bigger. My seat leans, their seat reclines, so it's no different.
What
so
I'm hearing is we need to work for Atlanta so we can fly first class because obviously everyone's currently applying right now to Atlanta CDB for first class flight.
All right, well, let's talk about another sort of related topic on air travel, and that's taking your shoes off on an airplane. Is that acceptable passenger etiquette? Jennifer, I know you had a visceral reaction to this when you first saw it, so what are your thoughts?
Absolutely not. Feet are disgusting. They're so gross. You can smell them, and feet also have disease and fungus that you could transfer on the airplane to other people or passengers.
People have fetishes about it.
I think phones are dirtier than feet. I mean, we let phones sit right on the tray where people are going to eat, and they're more dirty than feet. So I'm not so concerned about the feet. I'm more concerned about the dirtiness of our hands and phones.
Okay. What about people in general are just nasty? So I think it'd be better if there weren't. I would like to that guy that talked last time about packing people in airplanes was an idiot. There should be no one in airplanes. Meat puppets are full of disease.
I think we're going back to the road trip. That's why road trips are going to be here forever, because people don't like other people. So we can stay in our own little pot of car and we don't have to worry about these diseases and shit.
That's a great point.
You know what? Travel's stupid. Everyone stay home and Netflix and Zoom and knit.
Virtual reality.
Yeah.
Do not come to Wyoming.
More dinosaurs, you will get eaten and die.
All right.
Tim said it.
It's an extension of Spartan Travel, though. I mean, if the precursor is to take off your shoes.
Right. You know, and in some cultures, you take off shoes before you go into someone else's house.
Exactly.
People travel so much, they say they feel like they're living on an airplane, right? Like that George Clooney movie. So really, we should be removing our shoes when we go on an airplane out of respect for everyone like Andrew who travel a lot and they're in first class. And we're basically, you know, I apologize, Andrew, for keeping my shoes on.
What about the people who have athlete's foot, though? Should they be taking their shoes off?
Well, by implication, they are athletes and therefore are Spartan travelers, and they probably have toned buttocks, as we discussed earlier. So, yes, we should see them.
Ah.
All right, guys. You heard it here first at eTourism. We are going to start a movement to petition everyone to remove their shoes on every flight that they fly on. So
I think we should basically have everybody leave their shoes on the jet bridge before they get onto the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they get off the plane at the other end, they have to buy a new pair of shoes, which will stimulate the economy. In fact, it's such a brilliant idea. I'm going to send it to Donald right now because I think he's looking for some ways to stimulate the economy.
Andrew, we should all do a tourism assessment on shoes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
now let's move on to the next topic. So on the destination marketing front, are e-newsletters more important than social media?
I believe that. I think the social media is like the ancient agora, where the Athenians are just shouting out, trying to find people who agree with them to follow them. Whereas email, someone has given you, they've opted in and given you first party data and said, hey, I'm swiping right on you. I want to know more about you. Like, let's keep talking. So I think, yes, I think it's dollar for dollar your best place in this sense, because who wants to be fighting for followers in the agora every day?
Andrew,
On the flip side of that, Laura, you've already got them when they sign up for your email newsletter. So you already have them. You don't need to talk to them anymore other than your emails. So social media is a perfect place to reach new people and to get more likes and more email.
I would just add, before I want to hear what the others think, that I think the first thing in a recent study that most people do when they look at their phone in the morning, their first act is to look at email. Email is 20-something% engagement rate. And then you look at social media, which is like 0.5%. And it's not even the first thing people do.
I don't know about you. The first thing I do is look at Instagram.
I just try to keep them on fire. Oh, that's weird. I'm like, oh.
I check my Twitter before my email.
There's nothing more important than social media. Period. Full stop.
Seriously. Look, I like this whole idea about the agora because I think half the people on social media should drink some hemlock before they start typing because it's just an absolute fustercluck. And I don't know if I can say that, but I'm in my office.
It's recorded.
Yeah. Email is the best way to communicate directly to people who want to hear from you. Social media is the best place to show cute photos of cats in your destination. Full stop. And I think they both have the reason for it, but social media is full of people just yelling at each other or Photoshop people. Or why does everyone hold their hands up at 45-degree angles now on Instagram? Like, So that's what it's full of. And so it's okay. But it's not like come to Wyoming because I do get your guys' emails. I get all the emails, I think they're an effective way to directly connect with people and give them good information.
Well, Google begs to differ. Google is spending all of its time filtering out my emails into the spam box. So I think email is pretty ineffective. If you want to get my attention, do it through social media with a pretty picture of a pizza or a lovely bottle of wine being consumed with the sunset in the background. You'll have me all day, riveted.
Andrew, by 15 minutes from now, you're going to probably get an ad for me in Google search with, a pizza and a wine bottle.
All right, on the topic of social media, battle of the channels, is TikTok better than Instagram for destination advertising?
Since my target market's 13-year-old girls, so yes.
TikTok, you can take advantage of so many trending things. You can have dancing, all the pieces that people are following. They can follow things in such different ways. TikTok, way better. Instagram, so baby boomer. But TikTok, I think we can really make a difference there. I think when you're watching Bored in the House, like Bored in the House videos dominated. So why not take your Bored in the House and go to someone else's destination? I think there's so many ways to build upon TikTok. And I think Instagram is everybody's there. I don't even follow people. I just follow brands. But TikTok, that's an authentic situation.
Instagram has so much to offer for destination advertising right now. They have stories and you can specifically advertise to certain groups of people, like 13-year-old girls or baby boomers.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm Instagram, totally.
How are those reels working out for you, though, Jennifer? Is it always the same girl roller skating? Like, are there any other reels on Instagram?
Oh, sure. We have stuff for the rodeos.
You do.
In season.
Yeah, rodeos and dinosaurs.
Yes. Wyoming's the best place in the world.
Dinosaur rodeos. Yeah.
Dinosaur rodeos.
On Instagram.
Okay. In all seriousness, I'm trying to push our social media person to do TikTok. It's driving her nuts because I do have now a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old in the house, and they're all over TikTok, right? And I embarrass them to death by doing dances with them and stuff. But as a destination that's primarily adult, beverages, like alcohol is like our major driver. It's been kind of a weird thing. Like, how much do we want to push alcohol on TikTok, because it works so well for Joe Camel that I don't want to end up in that thing there. But
That's a question for the panel: is how do those people change their clothes so quickly on TikTok? It's just
they're all K-pop stars.
Magic.
They're used to it. They just don't. Like if you
They have snaps.
Magic.
I do want to say that if Andrew Wilson had a TikTok video of him dancing in front of an Atlanta attraction just like this, you better believe I'm booking my trip to Atlanta tomorrow.
So that's an attraction.
So last topic that I want you all to weigh in on. So I learned that the state of Georgia has wineries. And so I want to ask, is Georgia wine better than Sonoma County wine? And in the audience, I'd love for you to answer this as well in the chat feature, just to validate either Andrew or Tim's perspective.
Well, I think maybe we should go last because we could be talking forever.
Jennifer?
I'm gonna actually go with Wyoming beer is better than wine. Full stop.
Okay, Laura?
I don't think you can count Georgia, the state of Georgia, not the country of Georgia, out of the wine conversation. There are some award-winning wines in the North Georgia mountains. I think that they can hold their own in a few categories. A nice claret and some other things. You could find a few sparkling options, a rosé that I think could have some compromise. I don't want to count Georgia out of this mix entirely.
Wow.
So does Miles have the Georgia Wine Country account? Just asking.
I personally own 3 wineries in Georgia, so I got to put the word out about my wine.
It's only 2 hours away here.
It is. You can be there in just 2 hours. A geographical anomaly.
So I think the wonderful thing about the world of wine is that there's a wine for everybody somewhere in the world. And if you're looking for a really smoky wine, you can go to Sonoma right now.
Look, no, you're right, Andrew. You're right. And if you want a wine that pairs perfectly with butter that's scraped off the good old Waffle House, then you better head to Georgia, because that's what you got, right? It's just been sitting there, and it's grits served with a side of grits, and it's great. And try. I'll be quick.
On this, I have to agree with you too. The Georgia wines that I know would pair very well with a Waffle House breakfast.
I do got to say, I'd say one, every state in these great United States has a winery, and that's fantastic, because it is cool that people can get into wine. I won't dive into the quality, because I actually haven't had a lot of experience with Georgian wines from the great state of Georgia. But I think it's cool that people can go down the street and go to a local winery and meet the winemaker, because that's kind of the key to any producer. That even goes with the beer, or the people that make dinosaur bones and bury them in the ground so people can find them. I think it's cool that you go find someone who's passionate about something, makes it, and you get their story. In the world of wine, though, it does tend to grow a little bit better in the more Mediterranean climates, like the country of Georgia or the non-smoky region of Sonoma, as of 10:30 right now.
To bring this full circle on a philosophical note, visiting wineries is all about the experience.
Yeah.
And every time you do visit a winery, you'll think their wines are pretty damn good. You'll sign up for that wine club. It's the new timeshare scam of the 20th century. And when you go home and then you drink one of those bottles you labored to bring back to your house,
yeah,
and you'll taste it, and you go like, what the hell is this Dreck that I'm, and Dreck is German for shit. And so
if you're drinking the Macon Merlot, come on, if you're drinking the Sonoma, Sauvignon Blanc, you're doing okay. Did I pronounce Macon correctly? Macon? I don't know how you say it.
I don't know.
Andrew, can you taste wine at the World of Coke too? Is there a Coke brand of wine?
It's very interesting. Coca-Cola used to own wineries.
Yeah.
They divested them due to shareholder pressure that they had alcohol brands in their portfolio. But they used to have wineries, their beverage portfolio, which is logical because they wanted to be part of every beverage occasion. And that was a strategic objective of the company. And eliminating alcohol is kind of like a silly thing to do if you want to own the beverage a moment.
Tell us.
But anyway, I have to say my favorite wine club that I am subscribed to. I subscribe to in Healdsburg in Sonoma Valley, and you know what they send me every quarter? A case of French Bordeaux. It's fabulous. It's the best wine I get out of Sonoma all the time.
They want you to experience everything, and that's why, honestly, the best part of Georgia is driving into Florida. But there you go. There it is.
Miha, what I want to know is, when are we going to get wine seltzer?
That's a great question.
Out there? Yeah, you want, oh God, millennial. Yes, we have. So they were called wine coolers, okay? Back in the day. And they had a bunch of extra juice, and they had to put it in this stuff. So they called it, Andrew remembers it. You put in a little bit of sugar. Thank you for your support. I'll send you some.
Yeah, again, you're appropriating our bad experiences of the past.
Thank you. You guys can't even have your own crappy experiences. You got to steal ours and put it on TalkGram. Knock it off.
Next, millennials are going to be asking for wine bottles to be wrapped in like a Hessian thing,
In
like
a foil?
Yeah. Authentic foil.
We're going to be having Zima tours.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Zima, something different. We've jumped the shark now.
Indeed have. So on that note, guys, that does end our really heated discussion today. Thank you all so much for being on the panel and sharing your thoughts and opinions. I had such a fun time today listening to you guys. And for everyone in the audience, please enjoy the rest of eTourism. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Okay. Thank you, Mia, for making